have another match. Booyah, baby. Game number 3, the rubber match between Jordan, 23, and Noobkiller. Noobkiller playing a hell of a game number 2. Jordan looked comfortable in both games, but just one bad choice on the last game really bit him in the ass. But here we go in game number 3. Celts mirror on Arabia. 1v1 action. The legend himself, Jordan 23, is back. But you know what? You got to give Noobkiller some credit here. He's helping a legend sharpen his sword. And you know what? This is good exposure. If you're a Noobkiller, you're probably getting watched by a lot of people right now. Sheep scouting going on for the blue player. Again, Celts mirror on Arabia. Jordan in the blue will have a nice back gold. Berries to the side. Gold to the side. Not a terrible map for him. Boars on the front are ugly. This whole front flank is really open. Also, the extra gold piles. Yeah, it's less ugly, believe it or not, than his last couple of maps, but still not the greatest position for Jordan. On the top of the map, on the other side, we'll see Noobkiller. Noobkiller sending probably 4 vills over to wood, but we'll keep an eye. He's going to have a front gold as well. Berries on a downhill slope. Weird ridge line here, but he can probably put his military buildings on top of it if he wants. Stone that is occluded, blocked on one side. Not a great map for him either. I haven't seen a good map all day in this matchup. Welcome to the channel to you new followers. 4 vills on wood early for Noobkiller. Not surprising to see Celts go with a drush. Jordan will also have the option to drush if he wants to. For the moment, Blue Scout roaming around the map, finding those sheep, finding those resources. So is Noobkiller. He's still figuring out what's going on his side. This has been a hell of a matchup. I mean, holy sweet baby Jesus. The last game, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm high on life at the moment. The last game was quite beautiful in my eyes, at least. Noobkiller luring in his boar. I believe he has all of his sheep. He's just trying to figure out, where the heck is my gold? Where the heck are my gold piles? This one on the front is ugly. So, for the moment, we wait for this Celts ward to go down. We could see a drush. We could see men-at-arms from these guys. That doesn't seem like a terrible idea. But, of course, they're the pros, not me. So, we'll keep an eye as we roam around the map. Hopefully, you guys got your bets in. I think that you're going to be... The bets are probably closing any second. Welcome to the channel, Mark, Raynox, Axk, Ender Shadow. Welcome, everybody. Please make easier names, like Bob11, I think is probably the best name. I can at least pronounce it. Okay, so at the moment, Noobkiller has a huge disadvantage in score. He's had to loom up again for his long boar lure, but well, that's going to put him a full villager behind Jordan. Jordan with good micro in this game. Early on, I shouldn't say good micro, but good timing. Early on, he's done a pretty good job to scout his area. Sheep will go in for Noobkiller and will find the TC. So Noobkiller's not laming here, but he will get a little information with that sheep. Roaming around, finding the wood lines, figuring out what Jordan's up to. Jordan's big score advantage right now is probably just the fact that he scouted a bit more. Jordan's found those resources on the front. He's found the berries. He's found the wood line. This is a pretty darn good piece of scouting. And in the end, Jordan's going to have to use that information to decide whether to drush or what he's going to try to do in the feudal age. At the moment on 20 vills, there's no real such thing as a drush anymore, but you could still go men-at-arms if you wanted. There's the barracks coming up. There's the militia coming out. Actually, Villager is grabbing the 10 gold. So it could be a true old-fashioned drushy drush, just a really late one. Could be quite effective. Jordan scouting around, probably trying to figure out where the wolves are. You got to avoid the wolves with your drush. It really neuters the amount of damage you can do. See if you can walk in an area that you've already revealed to avoid taking excess damage. It looks like, for now, Noobkiller will not have a barracks down. Noobkiller did not build a barracks, but he is forward finding his opponent's barracks, waiting for that drush to come out, just patrolling back and forth, waiting for his moment. And hello, Hollery Doodle. Hello, Milmano. Hey, buddy. Thinking are you busy bankrupting Arsenal on FM? Huh, I wonder what that is. Hey, Luck Dragon. What's up, Luck Dragon? At the moment, we do see 2 vills going over to gold. Looks like Jordan will probably go into men-at-arms. 3 vills onto gold for Noobkiller. So maybe Noobkiller, maybe he could go late men-at-arms. He could go into archers. 3 vills. at the moment doesn't really mean anything, but he's so late to his barracks that it's going to be archers. Noob's getting a couple of palisades down. The Drush is working its way in. Villagers on gold are pretty safe. This Vill did a lot of walling just to keep himself safe, but in the end, oh, Jordan will get in anyway. Villager has the hill advantage, so that scout is not going to win here in the Dark Age, but oh, here come the militia, and Jordan is going to make his opponent not only delete the barracks, but probably still lose this Vill. Oh, that was a really horrendous moment for Noobkiller. He's going to lose that villager to the Drush. Great play by Jordan. Noob here just probably doesn't have grid terrains, just like I don't, and he could not see that there was still an opening there. That's a big problem. The barracks will be delayed, and Jordan's Drush here is about as good as any Drush you're ever going to send forward. Killed a Vill, made his opponent delete a half-built barracks, really delayed this double archery range push that's coming from Noobkiller. Great work from Jordan. Jordan has seen the gold. He's seen the villagers out there. He is going to hit the feudal age in a moment. We'll see if he decides to go with the men-at-arms, but I don't know. I don't know if he will. I would have to doubt it. I mean, he sees that his opponent's walled in, hasn't scouted the ranges yet, but has to know pretty much what's coming. Jordan hits the feudal age, and 3, 2, 1 does not go men-at-arms. I like that. It's a good decision. He's going to go double ranges as well. One villager on gold for the moment. Knows he's a little bit behind on production. Maybe the first few units are skirmishers, but for now, it is going to be Noobkiller. Probably going to have to send his first few archers to clean up this Drush. That's about as good of a Drush as you're going to find, and Jordan even did something really wise here. He peeled his scout away from the Drush. No reason to lose your scout here in a battle that you know is going to be over quite soon. He knows he's not getting any more Vills. So what is the point of putting your scout out there on the line? Use it for God's intention to run around the map. Looks like Jordan for now is just running his militia to the corner, which is kind of hilarious to watch. He's going to see if he can snipe the scout here of Noobkiller. He will not quite get the job done, or will he? No, Noobkiller's going to get away. Jordan's going to get knocked down. For now, it is going to be a little bit of a wall up for Jordan. It's going to be double ranges. It is all-in archers for Noobkiller. Jordan on the other side will have a mix. Seems like mostly skirms at the moment, but he will continue to add in archers as he moves forward. How about the nickname Sinkin' 10, says Hightower. That's close to Bob. Sinkin' 10, indeed. Men-at-arms are strong, says Lou. Yeah, men-at-arms there would not have gained Jordan much, and he made a really great decision with limited view of the map. He kind of figured, okay, I'm walled out of killing any more Vills, so I'm not going to waste any money. I think it was a really smart play by him. He's got a villager here walling up. Just a little quick walling. Should do a little bit of magic. Villager is going to eventually go down, but that will buy Jordan a little bit of time. He's going to have to turn his army around. His first group goes forward to find a tower. His second group of skirmishers here is going to be a little slow to the action. Pretty good rating at the moment from Noobkiller, grabbing 2 villagers from Jordan, equalizing the total villager number at the moment. +1 damage for the red player. It looks like Jordan on the other side will camp out under his opponent's tower with a couple of skirms. Not perfectly pressed up against that tower, but he's doing a decent job. Doing a hell of a lot better than I would be doing at the moment. Villagers on this wood line are going to be harassed. Jordan just can't get units across the map fast enough. He's adding in a couple of archers, probably because of the scout and the spearmen that are mixed in here. But yeah, this is really bad for Jordan. He's getting raided pretty heftily. He's going to have to turn his army around that was under that tower. They did not do a whole lot of damage. Idled the gold for a minute, but not long enough. And this eco has a couple dead villagers on the wood line. A lot of lost gather time, and a really great bit of raiding from Noobkiller. The old Noobkiller in the red trunks will do quite a bit of eco damage to Jordan. Defended himself nicely with this front tower, and at the moment is ahead in the score, and he's ahead in our hearts and minds. I hope that Jordan can pull this one back, but right now Noobkiller seems to be outplaying him by a little bit. Really nice bit of raiding, really nice tower there on the front, and for now, we will watch and see what the red player does next. Jordan's going to pull his forces back home. Only has 5 military on the map. He also has maybe more archers. He has almost all archers at the moment. He's still cranking out archers, which would be fine, except that Noob has a couple of skirms mixed in. Makes Jordan's army composition a little bit rough. Padded Archer comes in. That gives Noob an even bigger advantage militarily, and he's going to just stand on the front door and see if he can harass. All that being said, Jordan is mostly walled in. I mean, I don't foresee Noob walking all the way around there. Jordan's walled in on this side. He's walled in all around the top. So he's pretty damn safe versus a couple of Feudal Age Archers and a couple of Skirms. But, man, the damage has been done. But Jordan has an almost safe map now, while Noobkiller is still very vulnerable. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good whatchamacallit, observation. Noob is on to stone on his side of the map, replenishing the stone to build another town center. Wheelbarrow coming for him. He's sending his units to the top of this hill to wait for Jordan, but for the most part, he's keeping Jordan on the defensive. So Noob's bad map will not hurt him yet. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that Jordan does have a pretty nice safe area here. Continuing to fortify his position, especially this gold, is really very safe considering what he had to do to protect it. So we'll see. Noob is still hanging out on the front, still clinging to a hill, still trying to annoy. Both players with +1/+1 for the moment. Castle Age will come in. We'll see these guys continue to beef up these armies. But, you know, Noob's he's got a minute here. He can do a little bit of walling if he wants. We'll see where his first TC goes. That could be actually really meaningful. But for now, we wait. We wait for Jordan to come forward. Noob is still sending a few units to the top of this hill. He's a little out of position with this army, but Castle Age ClickUp has commenced for the red player Noobkiller. He does not have enough army to deal with Jordan at the moment. Needs to try to keep him busy and reinforce with skirms if he can. Skirms during the transition here could save his ass, but he needs quite a few more, and he needs them quickly. It's going to be another panic tower. Another quick tower from Noobkiller. I think it's necessary. It's a really nice choice, actually. I wasn't thinking of that, but since he is taking stone, he's going to have enough for that tower, and probably still enough for a TC if he does start to save his wood up a bit. So yeah, all in all, pretty nice defense for the moment. This hill, though, is brutal. It is ugly. There's nothing to stop Jordan from rolling into this economy. We'll just have to see if Jordan senses that this is his moment. Castle Age coming later for Jordan 23. He's got the bigger military. I think he's got the bigger military even in this sector of the map, but on top of the hill is Noobkiller. And that is going to push Jordan back for now. Pretty good posturing by Noob. Jordan so far has played a pretty good game. As we said earlier on, he's the legendary pro who's getting back into tip-top shape, and he's looked actually pretty damn good. I don't think he's made any decisions that were too bad. He's not playing like my level. He's playing an incredibly high level. Just not quite to his full potential. Noobkiller hits the Castle Age first. Elite Skirmisher coming for him. Crossbowman coming for him. He's going to find Jordan's army here. Actually going to keep that army pretty busy firing at this one archer for now. Noob knows where that army is, and he's going to go for it. Siege Workshop coming up back at home. See if he can get a mangonel shot in. But Jordan is going home, and this is the smart thing for him to do. Jordan can turn around, try to get home, try to defend for a minute. Nice little bit of house walling all the way up to the edge of the town center. That's going to make Noob a little reluctant to run through. It looks like he still will run right through this town center. But he's going to lose a couple crossbows. Jordan needs to get his army back here. He needs to get it upgraded. Siege Workshop coming for the blue player, but here comes Noobkiller right through the hail of TC arrow fire. He's going to grab those vills. He's going to slow the Siege Workshop a bit. More villagers dropping. Elite Skirmisher is in. Jordan trying to quick wall, trying to trap this army, but he's only building a channel, unfortunately. He can't build the cap to that channel. And we have a brief pause in the game, but man, Jordan's in a lot of trouble. His feudal army is chasing a Castle Age army. Elite Skirmisher is going to tank a ton of damage with 6 defense versus arrows versus units that are only doing 5 damage. I think Noobkiller has already done enough damage with this army to have it be worth it, but I think he's going to do even more after this brief pause. Noob is kind of skirm heavy, yeah, I agree. Google doesn't give me the link. Okay, what's just joined? Is this live? Yes, indeed. Jordan is playing pretty well. I mean, he's up against the 2K rated player in Noobkiller. Noobkiller at 1967 is no slouch. He's had a couple of great games so far. This game, it does look like he's in a really rough position. But we'll see. Looks like the pause is over. This army continues to roll through an ever smaller channel, but in the end, Jordan's going to lose just way too many villagers here. He's going to send villagers, maybe, since these are all elite skirms. I don't know what the plan is, but Jordan's losing not only a ton of villagers, but also his army. He hasn't gotten crossbowmen yet. He hasn't gotten bodkin arrow yet. His opponent does have bodkin arrow and does have elite skirm. So these units are actually pretty tanky compared to a feudal army. Town center coming for Jordan, crossbowmen coming. Noobkiller for now is kiting away. Of course, skirmishers can't hit anything that's touching them. They have to be a panel away. So it is just a sniping of crossbowmen as they retreat away. Those units, though, are going to grab more vills. I just feel it. I just know it.
Yes.
Just a brief break in the game for these two players, and we'll see if they rock and roll in a moment. Couple of hiccups here, but man, really tough engagement for Jordan. Maybe a big mangonel shot helps him feel a little bit more stable, but he's 7 villagers behind now. Really great rating. 7 villagers behind is Jordan, and he's actually 5 military behind. His archers there were just taking an absolute pounding. Elite skirms right up the gut with a couple crossbows. Was actually a pretty damn good choice from Noobkiller. Noob's got 3 mangonels, so anticipate a few of those coming forward pretty soon. University coming up for ballistics, town center on top of the hill. Noob's got plenty of time to get that down because he's still got Jordan bottled up inside of his own base. And for the moment, Noobkiller with a 500-point, 600-point score lead seems to be deserving of it. Gonna catch Jordan's mango here in a weird position. It's a really awkward fight. Mangonel's minimum range doesn't let it hit these units. The skirmisher's minimum range doesn't let them do any damage. So these 2 crossbows are going to slowly whittle down this mangonel. Villager comes into the mix, but unfortunately the mango goes down before he can get there. Just a weird, awkward skirmisher versus mangonel fight. Really awkward moment in this game. These mangoes coming forward for Noob are going to find Jordan, and they're going to they're going to get that mango for free. Tough position from Jordan. Keeps getting tougher and tougher. +2/+1 on his crossbows, but the double mangonels on the front porch are a little bit annoying. They're going to run in a little close, actually. Noobkiller could get sniped here if he's not careful. He's got to watch out for Jordan's mangonels roaming forward. He wants to kill this house really badly, but he needs to make sure that he doesn't lose the fight, the dodgeball fight. Looks like for now Jordan will get 1 for 0. Can he get another one? Villagers coming forward to repair. Jordan here with a nice little defensive play. He's going to have a second mango on the way. In the meantime, Jordan has sent an army forward to do a little damage to Noob on his side of the map. Noob's still walled in there, but, you know, a villager goes down. A little bit of a chaotic game, but yeah, Jordan does grab another mango on the front, and now he grabs a third. Oh, sweet Jesus. Noob, all of a sudden, kind of throwing a major advantage. He still will have a minor advantage on villagers and military, but those mangonel shots from Jordan are going to keep him in the game. 3 town centers back at home for Jordan. Look at this. Noob wants a TC on the front. He will try to get it done. There is another TC for Noobkiller on top of the hill. And for the moment, these guys are going to basically go back to square one. Yeah, Noobkiller has a 400-point advantage, but Jordan killing those mangonels really helped his cause. Kind of saved his ass. The Vill count is kind of even. I didn't expect that. Yeah, you know, me either. Jordan's done a really nice job to keep his eco going. I thought he was just about to be GG, but a couple great mango shots, a nice little defensive play. You know, Noobkiller had some great rating, but it's all going to be for naught in the end because he's going to be 1 villager ahead of his opponent with similar military sizes. TC coming up for Noob. He's going to go double mangonels, or rather double siege workshop. Has 1,000 gold in the bank. Jordan on the other side is much more balanced, and Jordan is thinking about a defensive castle, I would think. This hill seems to be where Jordan is camping. That seems to be where he wants to push the engagements to. So maybe he will castle this hill and then shift his army a little bit more to the left. We'll see. For now, it is a very defensive game for Jordan 23, the pro who has returned, who is adding in more and more siege. Celt siege is pretty badass, so, you know, it seems like a good choice. Red player is coming forward with a good-sized army. I think Jordan is out here scouting with this crossbowman. Jordan's going to move forward, and there goes that castle on top of the hill. But you know what? Noob could come in, so Jordan actually is pretty wisely going to stay at home. This one crossbow from Jordan is going to help him keep this castle alive, I think. For the moment, that red army continues to roam to the left. Maybe they'll get to the... if they rub noses with this wood line, they can kill some vills, but keep in mind that that mangonel is lurking. Doing a bit of lurking in the corner. Castle is on 60%. Looks like it will go up. These units are going to circle the long way around the map. They're probably going to kill this vill, but I don't think they'll get in. I don't think they'll get in. Jordan needs to secure the hill with the gold below it soon. This hill will soon be secured, and I would think these guys will be fighting over this next hill. That's the next big battle. Decent fight for Noobkiller, has more mangoes than his opponent, but in the end he did kill that one villager in the corner, but that's probably it. And for now, we wait for these guys to make their move. Yeah, there comes Noobkiller's castle on top of that hill. I think it's a really nice position. It secures both of Jordan's extra golds. If that castle goes up, it's going to be a hell of a hard game for Jordan to come back in. Noobkiller will be up first. Here come the Woad Raiders, though. And these are some timely-ass Woad Raiders right now. They're going to get in and probably not deny this castle. There are crossbowmen nearby, but unfortunately they're shooting the castle itself. Jordan's going to get out of dodge. Castle is going to go up. And this is looking like a beautiful castle from Noobkiller. Noob goes a little later to the Woad Raiders than Jordan did. Jordan almost was able to get in there with Woads, snipe a few mangoes, and deny the castle. But this castle location is really nice. Noob is taking his opponent's gold. He's still going to have extra gold closer to home. And for now, he's definitely in the driver's seat. Scale mail armor coming for him. Seems to be in good shape. That castle was so damn good and hurt Jordan so much. I agree. Totally agree, Hightower. This is a great castle. Jordan will drop one nearby. He's going to be a little bit sad at how close that is, though, because once Noobkiller hits the Imperial Age, there's going to be a Treb popping out of here, and how are you going to stop it? What's going to be the plan? You never want your castle so close to your opponent that they can just Treb you from the base of theirs. If Jordan was up first, though, he would have 2 castles to 1, and he could probably knock this one down. Still a precarious position for Noobkiller, but this new castle will actually help him a lot. It will help him with the Treb War. Still grabbing gold on the front. 92 vills for Noobkiller and the first Imperial Age for him. So delaying Woads really gave him a big boost in building villagers, getting his eco going. And it's going to be a really uphill slog now. After taking Game 1, Jordan has fallen behind in Game 2, and now he's fallen behind in Game 3. He made a run for it. He almost got back into it. He still could win. He does have Woads early. He could do some serious raiding. He could hurt his opponent. But there's about to be a pretty serious honeypot right on his front porch, and that's going to be double castles, pumping out Trebs, putting pressure on those all-important castles. If you want to build Woad Raiders, you got to have castles. Looks like Jordan will sneak around to the backside here. Noob does not have much at home. Have to keep an eye on that army as it slowly rolls in. Trebs are unpacking. 90-kilogram projectiles start to roll out. Looks like for now, though, it is Jordan who's actually going to roll in and do a bit of raiding. Jordan needs to kill these villagers on this stone. He has to see them with his line of sight there. But for the moment, he does not, and he's going to let them continue to mine. Villagers trying to repair here, but it's going to be tough. Noobkiller going conscription so that he can pump out more Woads than his opponent. Crossbows are running directly under the TC. This is really not what Jordan wants, but he's got to take some risk here. He has to get into this economy somehow. Going to lose several crossbows on the way in on that raiding. 2 Trebs out on the front. More Trebs coming, I would think. Conscription is coming. Woad Raiders are rolling in. Jordan will get Elite Woad first. This castle will stand for now. Jordan rolls into the back of this economy with just 6 crossbows, but he's going to do a lot of damage. Surprisingly, 6 of those crossbows live through the TC arrow fire, and we see more and more vills going down for Noob. Noob's Woads are going to try to protect this. Let's see, Mango's on the hill, double castles firing in arrows, no villagers nearby to keep these Trebs alive, so the Trebs will probably go down. In the meantime, it looks like Jordan will lose a couple of Mangoes, but in the end, pretty good fight for Jordan. Able to snipe those Trebs. Had to kill those Trebs and went in with just the right number of Elite Woads. You can see he's gotten Elite already, and unfortunately his opponent doesn't have it yet. Noobkiller doesn't have it yet, and that really slowed down his ability to stop Jordan from that sniping. Jordan will roll around the top side of the map. He's going to do some Woad raiding now. And we'll see how it goes. There are plenty of units here from Noob to keep this safe. He's just got to be in the right place at the right time to stop those woads. In the meantime, on the front, we have those double castles continuing to pump out elite woads. Another castle coming, so it is all in for Noobkiller on this critical position. Jordan has not put out any trebs that I have seen just yet. He's still trying to raid. Noob will come back and try to deal with this. He will lose some villagers, but in the end, you know, 3 or 4 villagers here and there is probably not that important. What is important is that Jordan keeps the pressure on his opponent. Jordan keeping the pressure on. We've got, I would say, more upgrades for Noob at the moment. He's got 1 more damage. Both guys are going to add in 1 more armor. In the end, Jordan will push this back with superior numbers, still doing a little bit of raiding, but there is a sledgehammer coming onto his front door here. It is a triple castle blockade on this extra gold, and Jordan cannot mine forever. A couple of woads inside Jordan's eco, but how much gold does Jordan have at this point in the game? 24 is the answer to that. He does have a relic, so Jordan will slowly gain some gold, but just 1 relic, and I would not be surprised if he has nothing left to mine. I mean, back at home, this was a gold pile once. These are Jordan's 2 extra gold piles that Noob is still sitting on top of. So it's looking really bad for Jordan. He's going to try to raid with woads for a minute, but once this army is dead, what is the contingency plan? You can build trash if you want to. It's your party. You can build trash if you want to. Noob still has not closed this hole. He really needs to close that at some point. But Jordan will GG out of this one. It is absolutely a beautifully played game once again by Noobkiller. Jordan isn't playing bad. In this case, he had a pretty bad map, and Noob took over the most important part of Jordan's map for the late game. Triple castled it, just grabbed on like a pit bull and didn't let go. And in the end, Noobkiller gets the win, and he's going to be getting closer and closer to 2K himself. Jordan played a great game there. He did play really nicely, but a couple of big errors, couple of big moments he was behind. And we will see quickly the achievements and maybe another game. Yeah, so there was 1 relic for Jordan. Did have more villagers in the end. Just quickly looking through these. These guys have relaunched already. So we'll jump out of here.